Hello everyone, welcome to Cybrosys Technologies. In today's video, we'll be talking about what's new in Odoo 19 point of sale restaurant. So let's move on to the new features of Odoo 19 restaurant so that you can get into the point of sale. From here, you can see that upon moving on to the restaurant, you'll be able to see that we have the option for booking. So in Odoo 19, we can manage the table booking. Odoo Point of Sale is now also integrated with the Google reservations, allowing the restaurants to manage booking more efficiently and that attracts the customers. So the system provides different views to manage with the booking and the check-in, and it also shows the status and along with the important customer information like allergies. So here you can find the booking over here. So once the booking are made, you would be able to see all the booking options, and it has got different views such as the Kanban view as the default, and you can find the other one as Gantt, and we have the list view, the calendar view, and the pivot view, as well as the graph view. To manage with the booking, what you have to do is you need to move on to the backend, and under the configuration settings of the restaurant, we need to enable a feature called booking. So upon moving on to the edit, here you can find the configuration settings, and upon moving on to that, you would be able to see that we have booking. So if you are unable to find the feature, you can directly search for booking over here, and that shows that we have the online reservation for the point of sale. So the appointment type is table, and you can set it over here. So once you have just done with it, you can save the changes that you have made over here and move on to the dashboard. So upon moving on to continue selling under the restaurant, here you can see that we can just do the booking. So to manage with the booking, again move on to the and click on new button, and here you can see that the date on which we are going to book the table and the number of reservations can be set over here. I would like to set the people over here, the duration with the resources. This also shows the number of tables that are available without booking. Now you can also provide the phone number and the notes over here. So let me save it. So once you made that, you can see that we have the option to see the number of people that's booked, and here we have the option to fold this, and you can see this state as waiting. So here you can see that if you have checked in, you can just move on to the check-in, and that will be moving over here. Once that's done, you can move on to the table, and here you can see that we have booked the table. Okay, so if you want to make the orders, you can just make the orders from here. So here you will be able to get the item, and in Odoo 19 we know that we have the option to get the product information upon just giving a long press. So upon providing the long press, here you can see that we'll be getting the details of the product. Now, in the product detail itself, if you want to make any further changes, you can just go ahead with managing of the products, like the details description of the product. So here you can see that if you want to make the order, you can see the order is just been made over here. So once the orders is been made, now the next step is that we just need to manage with the um, ordering and the giving of the item on the table. So again, move on to the backend, and in the backend, you can see that we can manage with the kitchen. So here you would be able to see that we have the kitchen display. So under the kitchen display, you can see that we have in progress, the average time, and everything. So upon moving on to the preparation screen, you would be able to see the item. So in the table one, you can see the item. So if it's ready, you can just click on it, and it has moved into the ready state. So once you have just given the item into the table, you would be able to see that. Now you can click on 10, or if you want to see how it works, you can also just see that. Now, under the, over here we have a panel to manage with the food, and that shows the food that been completed. And you can see currently we are just going to give the item to the customer, or dine the item to the customer. So once everything is done, you can just click on 10 and close this. So let me close it, and let's move on to the um, point of sale. And from here, we can consider the restaurant. And from there, you can see the table has been booked. So once they have done with everything, they just can move with the payment, and they can choose the card and make the payment. So upon clicking on validate, here you can see that they have just completed their dining, and afterwards, once the dining is finished, you can see that this is unreserved. So that's one of the new feature that you can find in the Odoo19 restaurant. Now we can move on to the that's the service flexibility with preset. The system now support the three consumption methods, that's the dining, takeout, and delivery through the presets. And these presets automatically adjust the pricing, including the promotions or extra fees, taxes, and even preparation capacity based on the chosen consumption method. So here you can see that. Let's move on to the products over here. Okay. So before moving on to the products, I would like to move on to the backend to manage with the product. So in the product, you can search for the bacon burger or any other products. Okay. So here you can see that if you have any internal note regarding the items, you can just give it over here. And under here, you can see that we have the options like the descriptions that we set over here. So if like allergies on milk. So I would like to give a description over here like this. Okay, allergies on to milk, and let's save it. And afterwards, let me move on to the dashboard and let me manage with the preset. To manage with the presets, first we need to enable this feature from the point of sale. So here you can see that this defines to manage the taxes and prices for dine-in, takeout, and the members. So I'll be setting the option as dine-in as the default, and the available one as dine-in, takeout, and delivery. To configure the presets, you can move on to configure presets, and you would be able to see everything. Like you can set the price list over here, physical position, the identification, the return mode, the color, manage orders by time, and the service at table, and available in self. For the dine-in preset. If you're just moving with the takeout, then you can see that we'll be setting the label as takeout as the customer won't be dining the items, and the service will be at pickup zone. Now you can also see that we have the other one as the delivery. So you can see the label is given as delivery, and the service at will be delivery, which means once a customer made an order in the online, the delivery boy will be just giving the item in their doorstep. So once everything is done, you can move on to continue selling. And currently you can see that as we just move on to the restaurant, and when you just consider a particular table, you can see that by default it will be dine in as a preset as we just given it likewise. Now I would like to just set as takeout, and you can see that on 11/10/2025, no slots are available for this day. If you want to just consider any other day and take anything, you can just get that. And here you can add the item that you just need to take out. Now let me order the item. As I just ordered the item, you can see that the table one is booked over here. But we are just moving with the taking out of the order. So here, once everything is done, you can just move on to the back end. And here we have the kiosk. And if you want to take out, either you can just move on with kiosk, or you can just go ahead with that. So here you can see the takeout put there that you want to add. So here you can see that once we just provide the description, we'll be getting the option to manage everything. So here you can see bacon burger. So upon choosing the bacon burger, you can see that LLC is to milk, and you can just click on next, and continue everything. And let's add into the cart, and let's click on checkout, and let's uh, order it. And you can see we are preparing, and the order number is K1. That's one of the way of doing the takeout. And the other one is with the ordering that we have done over there. Now, here you can see that we have the kitchen display. So in the kitchen display, you will be able to see the order that's uh, given. So here you can see that it's takeout, and if you want to just manage with the preparation, you can just go ahead with it. And you can see currently it's ready. And again, if it's ready, you can just go ahead with the complete. And if everything is done, you can just click on 10 and you can just give it to the customer. So that's the other way of doing the takeout. Okay, so these are certain features that you can find in the Odoo 19 restaurant. Now let's move on to the new feature, which is the enhanced order management. Now again, let's move on to the dashboard. From the dashboard, you can just go to the restaurant, and in the restaurant, you can see that we can just manage with the courses. I would like to consider the table 6 over here, and you can see that we have different we can add different items, and if you want to just make the courses, we can just do that. So I'll be adding courses over here, and afterwards, if I just want to add drinks first, I'll be adding that. Okay, Coca-Cola, iced tea, and water. And later on, I just want to add the other course, so I'll be adding it. And let me add it as bacon burger and cheeseburger. And once it's been added, you can add the other one. So if you want to just add the other one as the club sandwich, you can just simply add that and click on order. And here you can see that currently we have placed the order. So once the order has been placed, and now let's move on to the kitchen. So when we move on to the kitchen, here you can see that under the orders we have the preparation display, and under the preparation screen you would be able to see that under the T6 here you can see the orders are pending. So if you want to manage with different courses, we can manage that. So we know under the course one we just ordered for cola, water, and everything, so we don't need to make everything separately as they all those are ready made. Now we can just move on to this as the uh, as this is done, you can just move on, and that will be moving to the ready state, and from there you can just move to the complete state. So once you move on here, you can see that upon clicking on here, you will be seeing it will be moving on to the complete state. Now let me close it and move on to the restaurant. So upon moving on to the dashboard here, we can just continue selling with the restaurant, and you can consider the table 6. So from here you can see that fire course, and afterwards if you want to just manage again with the orders, you can again move on to the kitchen display and move on with the rest of the preparation display. So I'll be moving on to the preparation display, and here you can see the ready one. So here you can see that we have the T6, and that's completed. Now if it's 10, you can click on complete, and afterwards you can close this. And if everything is done, you can just move on with done. Okay, so currently you can see everything is completed and click on 10. And yeah, now let's move on to the dashboard. From the dashboard again, continue selling, and you would be able to see that we have uh, everything done over here. Okay, so all items are just given to the table, which means all are fired over here at the table 6. Now we can also talk about the point of sale product organization. We can set a particular product as favorite. Now, upon clicking on a long press for a particular product, you can see that we'll be getting the information of the product. So, if I want to set a chicken curry sandwich as the favorite one, I can just do that. And here you can see that um, when you just refresh, you will be able to see the result. Okay, so currently we are not getting it, but if you want to manage it with a new um, new order, you can just simply do that. Okay, so let me move let me move on to a table, and let me just consider the items. So before doing that, you can also manage the setting of a particular favorite a product as favorite from the backend. So upon moving on to the products here, you would be able to see the products over here. And upon moving on to the list view here, you can see that we have the list over here. Okay, so if you want to just add any particular product as your favorite one, you can simply do it over here. So let me set certain product as favorite, and those favorite products will be in the beginning. And here you can see you can just drag it and place it over here, which means you can just manage with the sequence of the products. Now let's move on to the dashboard and click on continue selling. And here you would be able to see that in the table uh, the what we have just there. Okay, now let's fire everything, and upon moving on to the course, the next step is to um yeah continue with the payment. So upon moving on to the payment, we can just manage with the splits. Okay, so there is a revamp in the split of the screen. So if I just want to make a payment for bacon burger only, I'll be moving on to split order over here. So here you can see that we can just choose a particular customer to make the payment of bacon burger. And let's move on to the payment, and let me choose by card and click on validate. And that's the change that you can find in Odoo 19. Now you can also manage with the settling of the customer account, and let's move on to continue. So if we just need to manage with the customer account due, here we can find the total due that's available for the customer. Edison Olsen, and click on the hamburger icon. So here you can see that we have the option to settle the invoices. So if you want to settle particular invoices, you can just choose that and click on select, so that it will be added over here. And you can move on to the payment and choose the payment method and click on validate, so that you can just manage with the settling of the orders. Now, you can see that as you just move on to the back end, you would be also able to see the live dashboard during the session. So here you can see upon the request from the different restaurants, the dashboard has been improved with the information such as the data has been given, the opening amount, the sold, and the ongoing is being given over here. So these are the few changes that you can find in the Odoo 19 dress trend. Now let's move on to the employee rights and cash management. So here, upon moving on to the three dots, you would be able to see that we have the edit. So there, you would be able to see that we can just the login with employees. So upon moving on to the settings, here you can see that we have the option to manage with the access rights. Okay, so here you can just scroll and you would be able to see the option that allow to log switch between selected user. So at the advanced right, we'll be providing Michelle admin, so he'll be having the control with the all the the POS. And here we can also provide the employee with minimal right, which is Ami Watson, and you can see the changes that you have made. Okay, and once you set all these things, you can move on to the employee module. And in the employee module, we have the Abigail Peterson over here. So under the personal, here you can see that we have the option to manage the point of sale. Let's see, yeah, not under the personal. So let's move on to the settings. Yeah, here we have the attendance, POIs, and manufacturing. So I'll be setting the pin code over here. So let me save it, and afterwards, here we have the Ami Watson, and again let me provide the pin code, and let's save it. Now let's move on to the point of sale. In the point of sale, you can continue with the selling. So upon moving on to continue with the selling, as we just provide the log users, you would be able to see that we have the option to move on to unlock register. So if we click on here, we'll be able to see all the users right now available. So Michelle Admin will have all the advanced right, and Abigail Peterson will have the basic right, and Ami Watson will have the minimal right. Now let's move on to Ami Watson, and let me yeah move to the account of Ami Watson. So when she tried to purchase certain items, here you can see that like she's making order for, she is the cashier over here. So if she want to make any things over here or price changes and everything, she will not be able to do that as she is having minimal right. And here you can see that when she tried to just move onto the back end or do any closing of the register, she cannot manage that. Now let me move on to Abigail Peterson, and upon moving on to Abigail Peterson, we just need to provide the login to move there. And here you can see that uh, she is uh, she is also not having the exact complete right to manage. And here you can see that we cannot manage with the price. uh yeah, currently I have just choose the cheeseburger. Here you can see we can just make further changes over here, okay, in the cheeseburger. But the employee with minimal right won't be getting any the right to manage everything. Now, if you want to just close the session, we have to move on to the uh, cashier with the advanced right. So currently we are set to Michelle admin, and here you can see that the person is getting all the right and he can manage with everything. Now, as we just move on here, you would be able to see the card, cash, and all the amounts that's been done, and you still have to order two open orders for the next few days. Okay, now let's close the register. So if you want to close the register, you just need to review the orders, and if you want to cancel anything, you can just simply do that if you're not going to process this order. Okay, so you can just manage with that. Now let's move on to the final feature of Odoo 19. That is the new feature of Odoo 19. That's the reporting. So under the reporting, we have the session report, which is a new feature in Odoo 19. So if you want to just get a session report of a particular session in the POS, you can simply get that. So you can just add a report for each employee. So click on print, and here you will be getting all the details. So here you can see the details over here. Okay. So click on continue so that that PDF will be downloaded. Now we also have the preparation time, which is also a new feature that's available in Odoo 19. Now let's move on to the preparation time. So under the preparation time, we have different measures that shows the average preparation time, the preparation time that's been taken, the quantity and the count. And we can just switch between different views such as line chart. Then we have the uh, line chart, bar chart, then the pie chart, and upon moving on to the other chart such as the line or bar chart, we can also just manage with the stacked. Then the other chart such as descending and ascending. Currently, this is filtered based on last 30 days. If you want to just remove that, you can simply remove it, and you would be able to get the preparation time report. So these are the new features that are available in Odoo 19 point of sale restaurant. So that's all for today. If you find this video informative, please do like, share, and subscribe our channel. If you want Odoo customization, Odoo implementation, and Odoo tutorial videos, feel free to contact Cybrosys. And thank you for watching the video.